The National Assembly advances plans for the Diaspora voting bill as Nigerians in Diaspora Commission NIDCOM deepens diaspora engagements. Speaker, House of Representatives Honorable Tajuddin Abbas dropped the cheering news while declaring open a one-day Nigerian stakeholders engagement on diaspora governance and the launch of the Nigerians in Diaspora Response application and website, organized by the House of Representatives Committee on Diaspora Affairs in collaboration with Nigerians in Diaspora Commission NIDCOM. The Diaspora this week will bring to you a full dose of the stakeholders' engagements. And of course, do not forget our complimentary segment of Health Tips by Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, the Diaspora of the Moment, and our mouth-watering Food Corner. This is your favorite show, The Diaspora. I'm Juliana Vincent Yakubu, your anchor. Please stay. Welcome back. Let's begin with the speech by the Speaker, House of Representatives, who was represented by Honorable Patrick Umor, member representing Ikot Ekpene, Esien Udim, Obot Akara Federal Constituency, who described the initiative as a major step towards extending democratic participation to Nigerians in the diaspora.
I'm very delighted to join this stakeholders engagement on diaspora governance, organized by the House Committee on Diaspora under the theme Legislative Executive Partnership in Diaspora Governance and Harmonious Working Relationships towards Productive Diaspora Policy. The focus of this event reflects our collective belief that Nigerians living abroad represent a critical force for national growth, global recognition, and unity. The theme is therefore both timely and strategic as it draws attention to the need to harmonize efforts in channeling the energy, skills, resources of our people in the diaspora towards strengthening our nation's economy and institutions. I wish to thank the Chairman and members of the House Committee on Diaspora for their visionary leadership and for their consistent commitment to sustaining dialogue and action in support of the diaspora community and the advancement of Nigeria's global interests. The 10th House of Representatives remains committed to promoting a stronger, well-coordinated and more structured relationship with the Nigerian diaspora community. These citizens have demonstrated extraordinary commitment to national development through their remittances, philanthropy, and knowledge transfer. The House therefore views diaspora engagement not as a ceremonial connection, but as a vital element of inclusion, proper governance, and sustainable growth for the country's future. I now have the pleasure to declare the Nigerian Stakeholders Engagement on Diaspora Governance 2025 open. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Honorable Tochukwu Okere, Chairman House Committee on Diaspora Affairs, says this initiative is designed to create a unified framework combining institutions, legislation, and technology to improve diaspora governance.
It is truly my pleasure to extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you. Whether you are here with us in the conference room 028 or joining online via Zoom for this meaningful gathering, I want to say a big thank you to our invited guests, partners, and stakeholders for making time to be part of us. Your participation shows our shared passion for building a stronger system to support Nigeria's diaspora and drive our nation's growth. First, Nigerian Stakeholders Engagement on Diaspora Governance, NICDEC 2025. The initiative is all about bringing together policies, institutions, and technology to create a unified approach to diaspora governance. And here is what we hope to achieve: aligning laws, government actions, and state-level efforts for better coordination on diaspora matters, easier access to consular help, emergency aid, and welfare services for Nigerians living abroad, using reliable, privacy-protected data to guide planning and protection and programs. Stronger ways to attract investment, share skills, foster innovation, and connect small businesses. Secondly, to launch the Nigerians in Diaspora Response app web named NIDRES. NIDRES is our new tool to make it simpler for the government to connect and support Nigerians abroad. It offers exciting features like real-time reporting of incidents and a help desk for emergencies, consular needs, or welfare issues. A board for investments and opportunities, vetted projects, diaspora bonds and protection against scams. Timely updates, travel tips, policy news, and community alerts.
In her keynote address, Honorable Abike Dabrerewa, Chairman CEO, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, highlighted the remarkable progress made in diaspora engagements since the establishment of the Commission 6 years ago.
Honorable Okere and members of the House, thank you for putting this together. Since our 6 years as Diaspora Commission, this is the first time this is taking place in the National Assembly. And we appreciate you for that. And this is very critical because this is about the legislature meeting the executive to talk about how we can deepen diaspora engagement. We talk about remittances all the time, $21 billion and all that, but we have to ensure that the diaspora goes beyond just remittances, but our holistic catalyst, a catalyst for holistic growth of our dear nation, Nigeria. So as we have these conversations, how do we deepen governance of the diaspora? How do we engage the diaspora further? We expect all stakeholders to be part of this. Next year, we'll be reviewing the diaspora policy, and we're hoping that whatever comes out of here will guide us in reviewing the policy next year. There's the presidential town hall meetings, which we introduce everywhere the president goes. When the opportunity is there, he meets with the diaspora. This is a very veritable platform to engage our people abroad. You can see last time, Mr. President met them in Brazil, St. Lucia, Paris, New York. The last UNGA was represented by the Vice President. Very useful, very purposeful engagement with the diaspora. We also try to communicate. We have the Diaspora Weekly program on NTA. So let me look at some of the challenges. NIDCOM needs to be strengthened. In fact, we're supposed to have offices in the six continents of the world, but we don't have. So it makes communication more difficult. As I speak with you in the UK, there are about 20 events. If we had an office there, there'll be someone that can, represent NIDCOM, but it's difficult. So NIDCOM needs to be strengthened, needs to be better funded, and follow what the law says. The law says we should have offices in the six continents. So I hope that can happen. Then the historic African diaspora, we encourage them through the door of return. We had a very successful event in Badagry just a few weeks ago. And you know what? They come back and say, why haven't we been here a long time ago? Why is it that when we come here, what we see is not what we read? What we see is not what we hear. And guess what? They come again and again and again. We stay abroad and say, oh, we're afraid of security. They are coming. And they are seeing a lot of, and they are investing. They are buying homes. So we pass that message to our diaspora.
Professor Senayon Olaoluwa of the Diaspora Center of Excellence, University of Ibadan, made a presentation on strategic diaspora engagements.
In a way that will carry members of the diaspora along. I want us to note, as I conclude, that generally, whether consciously or unconsciously, we tend to undermine the place of those who are not at home, because diaspora is simply not being at home. For the Yoruba, there is a Ebenezer who says, when you are not at home, they tend to undercut your ration. And that is very, very problematic. In some other contexts, I am moving into the realm of folklore now. A few months ago, a particular song originally composed in the 80s trended, Mike Ejaga, and everyone diaspora import in that song. What did the diaspora import in it? The elephant was not at home. The elephant was in the diaspora. And somebody in the homeland, the tortoise, deceived the elephant. That you will be made the Israel chief, you will be made the chairman at the Ofala Festival of the King. And that's how many of us relate with those members of the diaspora. We tell them things we don't intend to do for them, and they say, oh, let's go there. And they come and they're like, we have been deceived. So we have to change that orientation, and one such way of doing it, and doing it so well, for instance, is to know that diaspora voting has to be brought back to this house, has to be debated and passed, and has to be passed into the law. Otherwise, we will not discover that we are just doing what the tortoise did to the elephant. And it is going to be go. And the moment they realize they have been deceived, you know how sad and excluded they will feel. We don't want that happening.
The hybrid event involved stakeholders from the National Assembly's Nigerians in Diaspora Commission (NIDCOM), the academia, the students and youth groups, Nigerian Immigration Service, ministries, departments and agencies of government, as well as state diaspora focal point officers.
How can legislative and executive branches effectively collaborate to create policies that support diaspora engagement and investment in their countries of origin?
We can add diaspora studies and tourism to university curriculum in Nigeria, so that they can understand better. I'm glad the professor is here. We can add it to the diaspora is the future. We can tax the Nigerians in the diaspora with the innovation of a new energy atlas for Nigeria. And there are a few more we can do, but those are a few things that I believe with your cooperation we can achieve. Thank you very much.
One of the key areas that we will like to see improvement and encouragement, as Honorable Abike Dabiri has rightly said, there is a need for improved funding of all the agencies that are operating at the mission, Nigerian missions abroad. This will enable each agency to perform their roles, their duties as expected properly.
Specifically, the passport issues have been resolved to an extent. Why do I say so? Before now, when Nigerians, especially in China, because we have the embassy in China, in Beijing, and then in Shanghai, and then Guangzhou, when they want to renew their passports, it takes like forever to renew. At times, you might go there, the machine is broken or something like that. But of recent, I can tell you for free, even the last time I did my renewal, that when you go there, you get captured today. If you are coming from a very far city, what they do is they get your information, and over there they call it QID. So they mail it to you, to your home. I can attest to that. So that's, yes, it has reduced the stress to a very big extent.
We have worked, collaborated so much with NIDCOM in handling cases of trafficking in persons outside the country. And a lot has been said here and established here on the challenges and recommendations, which we also align with, and we share the same challenges. For instance, the issue of budgetary allocation, it's very, very important, especially for Nigerian missions, because we have challenges of getting these victims of trafficking that report cases to us, and when we tell them go to the Nigerian mission, they have issues or challenges on what to do, on how to even assist the victims on feeding and housing and all whatnot. So it's also good for the legislature to look into that as well.
Over the weekend, we're really lucky to have Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa in London talking about how we can get more doctors to engage in Nigeria. I think a lot of us are really keen to come. And I think one thing she said that is really important is that funding is a big problem, because we want her always with us all the time. We all actually believe that she's told us that The diasporan professionals are an untapped part that can make Nigeria different. And if you can think about the fact that Nigerians make up 15,000 doctors in the UK, and 46% of the African doctors worldwide are actually from Nigeria, that is really mind-boggling. And I know a lot of people will think that for people being abroad, that this is failure. It's actually a market that we can tap into rebuilding the next generation of healthcare, not just in Nigeria, but also in Africa. For me, I think being Nigerian is such an amazing thing because we've been taught to actually fight for the best, and we're the best around the world. So I think we really need to encourage what NIDCOM is doing to be able to get more of us involved in what we're doing, but the legislation needs to take diasporans seriously. So funding, like she said, is what we need to get a lot of people to engage. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Thank you very much.
There is one aspect of the legislative that I want to bring to the fore. Often than not, we have students sent abroad on scholarship, and one administration sending the students, and the taken over administration is saying, no, we don't know you, you are there, and so how you do it, how you sponsor yourself back to Nigeria is your business. Please, that is very, that is not welcoming. So please, the legislative, please, I will want you to sponsor a bill or formulate a bill that no governor will come to power and say he has nothing to do with his own students sponsored outside the country.
It is my honor and privilege on behalf of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to launch the NIDRES application web in the name of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Let's take a short break. The Diaspora continues shortly.
My name is Olubenga Messi. I was once an illegal migrant in Libya. Thanks to Honorable Mrs. Abike Dabiri, and thanks to Mr. Abraham for saving me, for rescuing me. I want to plead to Nigerians to say no to illegal migrations. Say no to anything illegal. Do not leave your country for anything. Just keep pushing and everything will be okay. There are some people that are out there that wasn't saved. Some people died. Some people didn't even make it to the country. Some people died in the desert. Some people made it to the country. They brought them back home mentally derailed. So we were treated like criminals. We were treated like animals. Some people, when they get to the country, without even working, prison straight. So please, I plead with every Nigerian, do not go to any country in the name of survivor. It is better to survive in Nigeria than to survive in another country. If you survive in Nigeria, you survive in any other country. Say no to illegal migration.
Everybody,
say no to illegal migration.
Welcome back, and now our complimentary segment of Health Tips by AMPA Doctors.
So according to UNICEF, WHO, and multiple other breastfeeding organizations, there are so many benefits to breastfeeding. I actually like to call breast milk, liquid gold. It is that valuable. It is very important to try to initiate breastfeeding as early as 1 hour from birth for those who do breastfeed, and this can really help combat, childhood malnutrition. In the entire world, over 500,000 children are malnourished and do not receive enough food. Breast milk can help reduce that gap, along with providing benefits to decrease the risk of malnutrition.
Today's food corner is unmissable as Barbara Bisong presents the dish.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on our food corner today. I am your host, Barbara Bisong. Today we'll be diving into one of our Nigerian most loved dishes, the rich and delicious egusi. Egusi is enjoyed across Nigeria, especially the Yorubas, Igbos, and Edo. Join me, let me take you on how to make this.
I'm using the boiling method, which is easier for me. So I'm going to boil my assorted meat. I'm using goat meat shaki and pomo. Then I added my pepper mix. Pepper mix is just attaché and rodo. Then I added seasoning cubes, salt and water to boil. Once this is soft, I'm going to go in with my palm oil and crayfish, and then in a bowl I'm going to add my blended egusi with little water. Mix this all until it's like a paste and add it just like this to your pot. Once the egusi is boiled, I added the salt and crayfish, then ugu leaves. Now mix this all up together, allow this to boil again for like 5 to 6 minutes, and your egusi soup is ready.
And there you have it, our tasty egusi soup. I hope you can make this at home. Thank you once again for joining us. I remain Barbara Bisog.
And now to our diaspora of the moment.
Our diaspora of the moment is Abdulrasheed Ajibade Abubakar. Abdulrasheed Ajibade Abubakar is the publisher of World Media City magazine, WMC magazine, a publication of the World Media City group of companies based in Washington District of Columbia. He is the founder and chief executive officer Cabs World Television, a multinational news-based pay television channel showcasing a new way to see Africa, headquartered in Washington, D.C. He's a versatile broadcast journalist with 20 years of experience working across Africa, Europe, Asia, and the United States of America. Abdulrasheed launched the WMC magazine, a leading authority on global African diaspora, filled with thoughtful editorial content, previously known as Diaspora Today magazine, on 24th August 2018 at the African Union Mission, AU, in Washington, D.C. He holds a BA Honors in Politics, Policy and International Affairs from the University of Baltimore, UBalt, USA, and an MA Conflict Resolution, University of Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. He is a certified professional voice master at Voice Master International UK. He has attended numerous training programs in journalism in United Kingdom, Germany, and the US. Congratulations, Abdulrasheed Ajibade Abubakar. We celebrate you as our diaspora of the moment.
This has been the Diaspora this week. Keep a date with us next week for another interesting episode of your favorite show, The Diaspora. I remain Juliana Vincent Yakubu, your anchor. Stay positive.